I applied to only one college. Should you do the same? Well, I think that I applied only to one college, and I know what you're thinking. Some people out there, I get these comments a lot. They say like, what the heck, man? Like, why? Like, isn't that very, very risky? Because I know that there are a lot of people who actually apply to like at least 10 colleges, 20 colleges. And there are actually many different ways of applying to college, such as rolling admission, a regular decision, etc. But in this video, I'm not going to be explaining in depth on what each of those things specifically mean. If anything, I could probably answer your comments down below and also provide a link to explain those things in more detail. But in this video, I'm going to explain why I only applied to Yale, why I only applied to one college. So Yale has been my dream school since about sophomore year or so. I live around New Haven, Connecticut, so it was close. The campus is beautiful. I've heard so many good things about it. I heard that the people were great, the academics were amazing, the extracurricular culture was awesome, and the students were so humble and kind and collaborative and supportive. So that being said, towards the end of my sophomore year is when I really did start to prepare for Yale. So I made sure that I developed my extracurriculars, got all these awards, took AP classes and hard classes, challenged myself, secured teacher recommendations, and basically I just started the research process as early as I can so I can get all my test scores and all of my requirements early and done out of the way so that I wouldn't have to stress at all. Because Yale was my #1 choice, I decided to apply to Yale single choice early action. So single choice early action at Yale basically means that I can only apply to Yale early. I have to submit my application by November 1st, which is relatively early. And once again, I can't apply to any other college with a few exceptions, but basically for the most part in my situation, I'm only allowed to apply to Yale. That being said, the honest truth of why I only applied to one college was because since I submitted my application on November 1st, well actually I submitted it November 2nd, a day late, and the results would come out in mid-December. Luckily in mid-December, as you can see in my reaction video, luckily I got into Yale mid-December, and that being said, since I got in early, my college process was pretty much finished. I also still had the agency and the option to rescind or decline my offer if I wanted to. Now I know some of you are asking, what would I have done if I got waitlisted or rejected from Yale mid-December? Actually, I also thought about that. And the thing is, a lot of the other colleges that I wanted to go to, for example, UConn and Fairfield University, actually had their regular decision deadline up until the beginning of January. That being said, if I did not get accepted to Yale in mid-December, I would still have 2 to 3 weeks to work on my application for Fairfield U and UConn. Now, these schools were basically my #2, #3 choices, and the thing is, those schools didn't really require any supplements, so I could pretty much just give them my same common application that I used for Yale University. So yeah, the story is not really that amazing. Hopefully it can just give you insight on what you can do or what you should do when applying to colleges. But yeah, basically what it boils down to is that I had a really keen sense of what college I wanted to go to. I really wanted to apply to Yale. That was my #1 choice school. So I searched up what was the best way to sort of position myself to get accepted into the school. Because although the single choice early action acceptance rate is higher than the regular decision acceptance rate, according to the admissions office, the single choice early action applicant pool is more competitive than the regular decision pool because once again, the people who are applying early are people who really want to go to Yale, whose Yale is their #1 choice. So they've been preparing for this pretty much when high school started. And regular decision applicants, well, they're people who very well could have not prepared for Yale at all, but just decided to submit something last minute to the regular decision pool anyways. So at face value, it might seem that getting in early is easier, but I don't think that's the case at all. It definitely depends on your situation. Do you want to be placed in a group of fewer people who are more qualified, or a group of larger people who are not necessarily as qualified as the first group? But then again, nothing is definite, and even Yale themselves say that applying either way doesn't really have a chance on your admission, but that's just the way I look at it and some other people look at it. Well, I think that it honestly really depends on your situation. If you really want to go to a very specific college and it's your #1 choice and they do provide an option to apply early, I strongly recommend that you do apply to it if you have prepared early enough. That being said, you secured your recommendations early, started drafting essays early, you had all of your test scores and everything. I guess the message is pretty much just start as early as you can and make a schedule and be accountable for progress. You know, do research and do things little by little every single day because the college process definitely isn't something that you can procrastinate and cram in one night. Another question I get is that I'm actually a Questbridge scholar, so I was awarded the National College Match scholarship thing, and through this process you can actually rank up to 12 partner colleges on Questbridge based on preference on how much you want to attend that school. And for the schools that you are accepted to, the highest one on the list is going to accept you and give you a full ride. Now the reason why I didn't take this option is because Yale was going to give me a full ride either way because I was a low income student. Also, I just much preferred the common application because of how much more simple it was, but that was just sort of a preference thing and like a bonus little thing that I'll add to this. If you want to know more about that in detail, please let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I applied to only one college. If you have any more questions or anything, please comment down below, and also please like this video and subscribe and hopefully I'm going to be continuing to put out more consistent content, especially during this time. Please stay healthy, please stay loved because you are, please stay happy, be productive, but also know that given that everybody's going through this tough situation, don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.